What's up, hobby friends, and welcome back to Paint Bravely, the podcast where you can find a little bit of encouragement, discover new ways to make your hobby more fun, and most importantly, learn to paint bravely. Alright, we got lots to talk about today, starting with this busted headphone that I got. It was cutting into my ear last time, and now it's just completely fallen out. I really need to get something new. It's not good, so, I can only hear Brent in one ear. We'll see how that goes. But we got some hobby stuff. I know, Brent, you've been painting some fun stuff this week.
I'll take out one earbud so that we're equal.
we're even. Equal. You got the left one in or the right one?
I got left.
Okay, I got left too.
All right. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Don't handicap yourself on purpose.
Yeah. Well, Casey, I've got an update for you here. I just had a couple of friends stop by Goobertown. I had Jamie Daggers and Whittle Goblin stop on by Goobertown. We hung out for a bit, and I don't really have a lot to say about that except they're good content creators to follow, and also I have friends. What about you, Casey?
I mean, I'd like to think I have friends.
I'm your friend.
Yeah, that counts. It's fine. Brent told me this earlier, and the only thing I said was, well, why didn't you just sit them down and put a microphone in front of them? But no. If you've been listening
to Paint Bravely for a while, you may remember the one and only time we tried to have a guest on this podcast. We went to Florida to hang out with Danny from Miami, and the audio had got entirely corrupted, so I don't trust guests. I don't trust them.
It's 100% their fault that things aren't going to work out. That's true. We have no experience doing any of that sort of thing, so Yeah,
we've got a system. It doesn't work well, but it works. And if it ain't too broken, don't fix it too much.
Right. Maybe if we add more people, it'll just make it worse. I don't know. It's not good. Maybe next time is what I'm saying.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So you leave us a comment, viewers and listeners. Let us know if we should have some guests on this rickety old podcast here. On episode 115. No guests on episode 115, but we might have some more gems in store for you.
Yeah. We had the potential for guests.
We're at 3 out of 4 earbuds on this episode, 2 out of 2 microphones. We got the cameras going.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's recording, so it's fine. But you've been painting stuff. I'm just gonna bring it back. You've been painting some stuff. I can see it behind your head.
Castles.
Yeah.
Castles. And I treated myself last year. What's the shopping commercial holiday that comes after Thanksgiving? Black Friday.
Black Friday. Yeah.
Tabletop World had a little of those Black Friday deals last year.
Yeah.
And they added a kicker to it. There's a kind of a carrot and a stick sort of situation where they had a deal on Black Friday, and they also said, we're discontinuing these buildings.
Yeah. Also, you'll never be able to buy these ever again.
And they're 20% off.
Yeah. So you bought all of them.
Hey, if they're gonna pack a box up from the Czech Republic, you might as well get them to fill that whole box up, right?
You might as well make it worth some amount of effort they're gonna put into packing that box.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I got a whole bunch of Sudoku puzzles in Czech, and I got a whole bunch of crossword puzzles. And they package all of their resin buildings in Czech newspaper. And I got a full 2-page spread on Queen Elizabeth. Kind of, the timing might have kind of been right. I'm not sure.
But you can't tell necessarily.
Yeah. It was a lot of pages for Queen Elizabeth in a Czech newspaper, I'm going to say. But I've also seen the Wu-Tang Clan get a full page in the Czech newspaper. I've seen I've seen a lot of celebrities I recognize in there. Not getting through a lot of the words, but the important thing is I got some high detail resin castles. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I finally decided now is the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you know sometimes it's just like, this project is next?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like you just get into your hobby space and you kind of take that quick look around and you just know.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do until it is done.
That model has been fermenting in my pile for just the right amount of time. Perfectly aged. It's not going to get any better than it is today. Let's go for it. So it was castle time in Goobertown for the last week or two. And it's been really hot out here in Maine, so I pulled out my folding tables and covered them in check newspaper, and I got my spray cans out, and I just had a great old time painting stonework. So, layer of black, layer of gray, and the way I decided to do it this time is sponging. So I got a sponge out.
Okay.
I got desaturated blue-gray, desaturated green, got a light gray, dark gray, light brown, dark brown, very dark brown gray, and just splotch, splotch, splotch all over the place because stones have a lot of different colors. And after that, a little bit of dry brush, a little bit of unsanded grout jammed down into the cracks between the stones. Got it to stay there with a little mist of water. I actually took the same spray bottle that I use when the cats are bad, and I adjusted it from the tight beam of chastisement to a broad spray of just mist. Yeah.
The tight beam of chastisement.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you don't have cats, but if you had cats, you'll know that sometimes they like to mess with stuff. And they'll be like out of reach messing with stuff. You'll be like, hey, stop messing with that. And
right, you gotta be a sniper in those situations. You gotta be real accurate. I mean, I've had cats, so I
understand. And
I definitely understand. Yes,
cats are both smarter and dumber than they look. But when you hold up that water bottle and you look at the water bottle and you look at the cat and you make eye contact with them, I can see the fear in their eyes. Their body,
they know.
Yeah, they know. They're like, all right. And then they normally back off. You know, I normally don't even have to shoot them. The threat is normally enough. So I took my squirty bottle and took that outside. Got some fine grout, and this technique I think only works on very particular models that have really deep crevices in between the rockwork. But the castle walls from Tabletop World really do have those deep crevices, and just kind of drop the powder on, jam it in there with a big paintbrush, and mist it to kind of get it to hold. And then once it's all dry, you can kind of use a stiff brush to clean up the surfaces of the rocks a little bit. Like it does still, you can... Yeah,
you kind of wipe it away, yeah.
But it stays in the deep recesses, hardened up pretty well. And the grout I used a mixture of different colors. I had some tan, some white, some gray, and so it ended up being like a light brown sort of color. And it actually it registers as white grout or light colored grout. Like pure white grout for that purpose is like blindingly white.
It'd be a little much.
Yeah. I find myself using white anything very, very rarely. Yeah. Like a zenithal is about the only use I have for white these days. I don't know.
Right, and only because you know you're going to cover it up with something else, and you just want that luminosity to stick through.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yep. So, oh man, I'm feeling the hankering to get back to some actual miniatures here soon. But I had a great week or two just playing around with my spray cans and my grout. Big old dry brushing projects. And so I did a castle wall from Tabletop World, and I also had in storage the old Warhammer Siege castle. 4 walls, 4 towers. You'd recognize it if you saw it. It was like the Warhammer castle from 20 years ago. And I had an old used copy, and it had been painted okay, but each section was like a slightly different color. They had done like a gray and blue dry brush, so it was kind of like a cool blue-gray color scheme. But they clearly spent different amounts of time dry brushing each tower and each section of the wall. So I think if you were very deliberate in properly ordering like which one was next to which one, you might be able to get it okay.
See
like,
it. Yeah.
But
that's funny.
I felt it needed a fresh coat of paint, so I was working on that one too. But anyway, that's my painting for this week. Little terrain.
Yeah, well, grouting bravely.
Yeah, bravely, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's like a whole extra layer on top of everything else, like going for the grout. Yeah,
it's a technique that doesn't work very often because most stone walls don't have. I mean, the crevices are really deep in those tabletop world models, and it's a situation where like this technique almost never works. And so if I've got an opportunity to do it, yeah, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
And in some ways it's maybe not totally worth it. Like it's messy. It takes a couple of steps to get it done. Sometimes you get a little too much on there and like the whole wall becomes a little bit lighter than it was before, or like it takes on like a dusty appearance.
Yeah.
But the having grout that is grout and looks like grout, it's nice. The typical ways that we paint walls and stonework often involves washes and dry brushing, and the result of that is the cracks between the bricks are a dark color. Either you put a dark wash over everything and there's a dark wash in the cracks, or whatever, you primed black and then you did a bunch of gray dry brushing on everything, and again the cracks are black. That's something I wanna look into more one of these days, is alternate ways to get light colors in the cracks. But one of the ways to do that is to put light colored grout in the cracks, and so that I like the opportunity to get a lighter color in the cracks. The opportunity was there. I took it. I regret nothing.
No, I mean, you shouldn't.
Nope.
I'm sure it looks pretty good. Yeah.
Not bad. We're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What do you got going on, Casey? What's new with you?
I mean, I finally got a video out after just about a month. It took a while. And I've got another one coming out pretty soon. Like, I've had videos done, and I just haven't been able to post them for various reasons. So we're coming back around. It's finally time. I'm getting back into it, and I decided to, I guess, in not so much downtime, but like I have time because I've banked videos at this point. Like, I'm actually gonna put together some models and do something. So I've built just about half of the Skaven Tide box so far, and that's been pretty good. The newer models are weirdly even better than like the Dominion ones were. You know, like all the multi-part stuff, or I guess it's not multi-part, it's all kind of monopose, but it feels like that, but these are sort of multi-part. Like you can swap an arm or a weapon pose. Okay. Like there are options for different things, at least so far. I don't know about the Skaven at all, if they have any of that, but so far all the Stormcast models, other than like the hero figures, have slightly different poses, and I thought that was pretty cool. That's new. And they still do that same thing where they're hiding all the mold lines, and like there's not a lot to clean up. Like, it's very minimal cleanup. So I was able to actually put them together in what I feel like is a timely manner.
You getting people all hyped up on Skaven Tide now, huh, Casey?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's kind of...
Well, you can't even buy it anymore.
Is it like sold out on?
No, it's far below MSRP on eBay. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I would think so. I mean, I paid just about $200 for it. So I mean, we're already getting down there. You know, it's no Dominion, but you know.
But we're only in the first month. You know, Dominion.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess we didn't really track how long it took Dominion to sync.
No,
I feel it might have taken
that long.
Like 6 months, right?
Something like that. Because when it came out, it was like early, I think, in the year. Or no, I guess it was about the same time. So whenever now-ish is, compared to whenever Adepticon was
so that's like 9 months.
March or something. Yeah. So yeah, probably 9 months for it to almost completely tank.
Well, there you have it, folks. Either buy your Skaven Tide now, or maybe wait till next year and buy 2 for the same price. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
It's very possible. I mean,
I don't
think it'll happen. Yeah.
Buy the dip.
I mean, the whole thing is, even now, you can get all of the rats in that box for $100.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So, I mean, that seems fine. Like, obviously, Spearhead being kind of the big thing right now. The armies that are in that box are both Spearhead armies that are in a Spearhead box, or they will be at some point. So you're getting both of them. So it's already decent. Because those Spearhead boxes are like $150, I think.
You're really pushing that Skaven Tide, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking about it. I hadn't been thinking about it, and then today I watched a video from Ash Gorilla Miniature Games, and he was talking about the Spearhead game system, and I was actually like, oh, the way he's describing it sounds kind of cool. So
yeah,
you have a better understanding of it. Can you introduce the audience to what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen what this Spearhead thing is, a lot of people have been talking about it lately. Like, I really didn't care about it when they first announced it. You know, I just thought, oh, whatever. It's, you know, small army version. They kind of did that in the last edition, where they had different sized games that you could play, but it was basically just a cut down version of the full game.
Yep.
In this case, though, it's pre-built armies that you can buy in a box on their own that have rules that are specific to the game that you're playing. And you're playing it on a much smaller board. It's like a 20 by 30 board. So it's like a Warcry kill team size. But they're small armies. So you have like your main leader, your kind of centerpiece model, and then you have a couple of smaller units. And then that's what you play with. And you have objectives and you do things. But it's stripped down in terms of how many rules you actually have to learn. Like, it's very basic. So everything is preset, pre-done, and balanced. And they have like twist cards and objectives that you end up going throughout the game and trying to do. So it encourages movement. Instead of just everybody meeting in the middle, it's like, oh crap, I gotta like get all the way over here now. And you're on a smaller board, so people are moving around. It just seems like there was some actual thought put behind this, and it makes sense. I don't know. I'm just kind of hyped for it right now, because it's something that sounds to me, I haven't played it yet, but it sounds like a Warcry style game with actual, you know, units that you would play in a full-size game. Well, I don't have time to play a full-size game almost ever. So being able to throw down something that's painted and like part of an army, well, there's some incentive there. Like, maybe if I can get a full game in someday, well, I have half of an army or whatever it is. And until then, I can do something that doesn't completely suck. And I like that.
Well, that sounds good.
Sounds actually decent.
Well, here on Paint Bravely, the podcast, we're always looking for excuses to paint some minis.
Pretty much, yeah.
we're looking for a golden promise of, if I paint these minis, maybe I'll be able to do something more with them other than just paint them, have them look cool.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I have enough random assortments of models laying around that I'm pretty sure that I can put together like the Spearhead armies, and all of the rules. The rules are all free. They're free online. All of the like War Scroll cards for the armies are free. I just don't see like that's the best excuse that Games Workshop has ever given to just be like, you should just play because it's fun, and they do not have that narrative generally.
Man, I am so jaded that whenever somebody says Games Workshop has put the rules up for free, my immediate response is either you're lying, that's not right, or let's check back in a month and see if that's even still true. Yeah. Or okay, fair, fine, we'll check back in 6 months and see if that's still true.
Yeah, it's like when nobody's talking about it, they're gonna quietly just kill it off and remove all of it.
Yeah.
I downloaded all of the PDFs. Like, I have all of the PDFs. They're not going anywhere. I have them on my computer. So like, at least there's that. Who knows what they're gonna end up doing.
Yeah. So the thing that Ash was saying that got me interested is that Spearhead, as it is right now, is a complete game. We're not waiting for expansions or balance patches or updated point costs. These are the units that are in the Ogre Ma Tribes unit. Here are the units that are in the Chaos Army. That's what they are. Here's the rules for them. It's all in one book. The book is the book hardcover? I don't know. The book is complete.
I have a hardcover version, yeah.
Okay. The book is complete. It's out. And that sounds nice. Because one of the things that gets me about GW games is I am never able or willing to keep up with all the releases, and so I never know what's going on. The idea of... It even makes the idea of just playing this as an old edition someday seem more viable. Like if you're talking about, okay, let's play Warhammer Fantasy 5th edition. You know, go get all your codexes from 5th edition Warhammer Fantasy and find the core rule book, and doable but difficult.
Yeah. Well, and to find somebody else who has everything that they need to do that or still have that stuff, that's a little more difficult unless you happen to be in a gaming club that has a dedicated player base to that specific thing. In some ways, the pitch of, okay, we awake in the year 2029, we survive until 2029, and we are finally ready to play our first game of Spearhead from in
Age of
5 years time.
Like, I'm joking, but
I know, but you're not. That's the thing, yeah.
I still haven't read my 3rd edition Age of Sigmar rulebook, so
the cover looks real cool, though.
That's a sweet picture. I flipped through it a little bit. I still don't know what the realm of Ulgu is, but maybe someday.
I don't know.
I've been thinking about it. If I read that nice hardcover book that comes in all my Dominion boxes, I might know what the realm of Ulgu is.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair if you actually,
or
took the time.
Check this out. Haish.
Is that a? I don't.
I think it's the realm of Haish. The realm of shadow, possibly.
That's fine. Call it that.
For all I know, that's correct. Yeah.
I don't know.
Why would you? But 2029, you and me, Casey. We're gonna
okay.
We're gonna play the market. We're gonna buy extra copies of the Skaven Tide box at the appropriate moments. Maybe buy one now to lock it in.
Yeah.
We'll buy a couple in 2025, 2026, just because the deals are too good. We won't be able to help ourselves. And then do a little painting. Forget about it for a while. Paint some terrain. Paint some goblins. Whatever. We get back to it in 2029. Like, you know what? We were really excited about Spearhead. Or we were moderately excited about Spearhead. We thought, this might be good. Spearhead, now, if this is true, And again, anytime I'm told about the way that rules are distributed by Games Workshop, gut reaction, that's not true. That can't be true. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
But if it is true that that single book actually is the whole game, it's possible we might play it someday. Right?
I mean, it's weird because, like, on one hand, I really feel like it probably will be. It'll be this weird blip in, like, this garbage GW timeline that they've created. And it'll just be this thing that stands out, and they'll never talk about it again. Right?
I think that's probably true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that makes me feel real bad.
Yeah.
And I haven't even played it yet. Yeah. And I already feel bad.
Ash has a really good line about you know, Games Workshop is constantly putting out new rules, so they can constantly be selling you things, and they always sell it as like, oh, the new rules, the 10th edition is gonna be better. Like, oh, 4th edition, 3rd edition, I don't even know why you wasted your money on that. 4th edition is where it's at. 4th edition. So, and the constant need to have that churn means that sometimes they're going forward, sometimes they're going backward. There's a lot of side steps in there. But the phrase that Ash uses that I really like is that sometimes they pave over their own successes. So if they, by some combination of skill and luck, put out a really cool rule set that is engaging, that gets people excited, that is not a freaking nightmare to play, if by some chance that happened, they're just going to pave over it in the next year of like, oh, here's another new way to play, and we're going to rebox all these things and not have Spearhead boxes anymore. And also, you know, he was making the point of, will the official GW publications, Warhammer community, that sort of thing, will they be talking about Spearhead? Or if the fact that Spearhead is just a single book, that means it's going to get abandoned immediately, and then they're just going to keep putting out, you know, content about whatever, just standard Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and then pave over the success of one good rulebook. I
mean, historically speaking, yes, that's what they've done almost every single time. You know, in recent memory, I think the only thing that I can think of that lasted for a few minutes was probably Warcry. And then that got demolished this year. You know, but it's been a while.
It got demolished?
You know? Yeah, like they stripped everything. They got rid of, or they said, oh, all of these war bands that you've had for the last like 5 years are no longer supported. They're not in this game anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's not that obviously you can't just continue using them and playing them, but they haven't really said much after the fact either. So it just feels like they just killed it.
Whoops.
For no reason. Yeah. Even though, like, I still play the original Warcry, like the box that came out, the first one. I played it a couple days ago.
My man. Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's been about 5 years, and you're like, no, we're doing it. Yeah.
No, it's still fun. Like it comes in its own box with its own stuff, and the terrain is really good. So, yeah, as a game in a box, I can throw down and play a game in like half an hour, 45 minutes, and that feels pretty good. Like, this could be that, and I know that they are putting out a it's got some dumb name. It's like Fire and Jade or something box set. That has all of the stuff contained in its own box that's separate from Skaven Tide.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I know that they're already doing that. So it's possible that they're just going to say, okay, this is the thing we did. Here it is if you want just that. So I don't know. It's really hard to say.
It's not. We can guess pretty easily.
I just want to have hope. I really do. Like, I don't at all. I'm completely with you. Like, this is going to be the blip, and now's the time to be excited about it and to try it and check it out. And then if it's fun enough, then cool. Like, shelve it and pull it out from time to time. And I probably will. Like, this seems like a decent replacement for not replacement, but something that's just a little bit more than a Warcry.
Yeah.
You know, something a little bit bigger that has some more different kind of models and whatever. And especially because, like I said, I have models laying around. Like, I have different armies, and being able to put together one of these Spearhead armies kind of, and just have it, means that I can try different things. I can play different armies, and I don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new stuff, which right there is also one of the reasons why it's so weird that this even exists, because I feel like people do have small portions of different armies and different types of things that they want to play with. So like the Start Collecting boxes, or in this case, Vanguard or Spearhead boxes, which are basically the same thing anymore, are now just viable as game pieces.
Yeah, I mean, they're selling the Spearhead boxes for $150 each, so I think they're still making money. I'm sure they are. Weirdos like you and me have substantial collections of miniatures and could put together a couple of little Spearhead forces. No sweat. But don't worry, I think they're still using this to drive model sales. That's still happening.
Yeah. Well, I think it is pretty clear that they're trying to have the entry point, like the barrier to entry is, they're trying to make it lower and lower, right? So like, if now Warhammer Age of Sigmar is $150 to get into, that's a lot less than a lot of other hobbies. Like I've been spending some time at the racetrack lately.
Horses or cars?
RC, the RC car racetrack.
Yeah, that would have been like fifth or sixth guess. Yeah, okay. You've been spending time at the racetrack recently.
Should have made you guess. I feel bad.
Greyhounds?
No. Yeah. Yes, I've been raising greyhounds, thoroughbreds.
Okay, get back to your race cars.
Yeah, RC race cars, right? Like, dude, like minimum $250 to just have like the bare bones slowest car you can get for racing.
Who would want that?
People, like a lot of people, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weirdly a similar type of hobby to wargaming, in that it is overly expensive and very niche, so everything just is expensive. Right? It's not serving a massive market, but the people who are in it are really in it, you know.
Get some sweet flame effects on there, get some decals.
That's part of the reason I've been interested in it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I could do sweet custom like airbrush jobs on these things. It sounds cool. Yeah, that's something I've been looking into a lot lately. Because we just happen to have like an indoor track here that runs all the time. So, not that I need another hobby.
What do you mean by all the time? So like 24/7, you just go down to the track?
No, I mean it's open every day.
That's pretty cool.
And you can go from, I forget what it is. It's like 8 to 10 or 11 at night or something, you know? 8 in the morning to 10, it's a long day.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, barrier to entry, not necessarily as high as you might think it could be.
Okay.
Like, there are definitely a lot of hobbies that are much higher than that. And I know they've been talking about it for a long time, and that's certainly something I've always felt is kind of missing to most wargaming in general. It's like, well, you can get kind of a skirmish game, but then it's, I don't know, it's not necessarily, like Warcry was still expensive, Kill Team is still expensive, for a box. Yeah. So,
well, look, Ash is saying this is a good size point. Like, it's a good size. Mm-hmm. Small board, smaller armies, but still feels like a meaty game is what he says. So
yeah.
We will see. You play the game and you see. I've also been thinking about painting up a Spearhead over here. So I'm gonna do some inside baseball, but I've been chatting with my wicked dicey pals out in the Boston area. And I went to their Ironweld event, had a good old time. I think I might go to their Everwinter or perhaps Neverwinter event. That's I think it's like January 2nd or 3rd or something like that. It's in the winter in Boston. And you're like, what kind of hobby events can we do? Like last time you came and you just kind of stole 7 shroomoids from the paint and take. Maybe Brent, you could come this time and do something more productive, more interesting. Yeah. Give back a little bit. So
you got 6 of them. You need to give back. You should be auctioning this off at their next event. Just 6 of them need to be auctioned off and
poorly painted little mushrooms with Uzis and fanny packs. Yeah.
Yes, you need to fix what you've done. It's well documented. We know what you did.
Yeah, we've got your confession on tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about what kind of hobby events you could do at this convention, and I mean, could do painting classes. I don't know. I don't feel like I have a ton of painting classes burning within me that I want to do at conventions, but doing some sort of painting event activity challenge, like that could be cool.
Yeah.
So in the early stages of ideation here, I've been thinking about a painting/game competition where on the Friday and the Saturday of the convention, some people are painting up a Spearhead box. There's going to be 2 Spearhead boxes, and then anyone who wants to participate during the weekend kind of stops in the hobby room, and half of the folks will be working on one Spearhead box, half of the folks will be working on another Spearhead box, and then the hope is that within the Friday and Saturday, you can get those 2 forces built and painted and basically ready to go. Yeah. Which, as long as you have, more than a handful of volunteers, should absolutely be possible.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday, do some sort of exhibition game, and then after the exhibition game, raffle off the spearheads, or maybe they just go to the winner. No, that sounds dumb, but
that sounds like somebody's gonna.
Yeah, no, they should be raffled. They should be raffled. Good. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Like whoever participates in helping to paint them.
Oh, there's an idea.
So if you stop by, even if you paint for make it a minimum, right? You sat here for 20 minutes and you painted a goblin.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you get a raffle ticket if you paint a mini, or if you put some money in the pot, and that way you also get some dang money.
I mean, that would be cool. That's not bad. Like there's a prize pack and a purse for this game that happens. Although you'll have to have, it'd be like you and somebody else official playing.
Not
that
me.
It really matters. I don't know. I mean, I've looked at some of the rules for this. It is very basic.
Okay. You think I can do it? And I'm up to the challenge?
Okay, like here's a good example, right? Normally when like a wizard or a priest casts a spell, does whatever, if you're within a certain amount of inches and you have your own wizard or dude or whatever, you can unbind that spell before it goes off. At least as far as I've seen so far. In Spearhead, it's kind of like, I just want to do that, and then it just happens. And that's it. There's no more complications beyond that. It's like I decided to do a thing with my guy, and it happens. So there isn't a bunch of weird shenanigans going on all the time. It's more about keeping things going, and it's simplified.
There's an idea.
I'm just saying. I think it might be right up your alley. That's all I'm saying.
So we're coming up with ideas. We're planning possible events for a convention that's going to happen very early 2025. We've got some prosecutors flying across Casey's screen. But yeah, what if this Spearhead business is just abandoned by the end of 2024? What?
Certainly possible. January comes around, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Nobody comes to volunteer to paint this because nobody's playing Spearhead. What's the point? You're on to Warcry 4. That's the new thing.
I mean...
Casey'd be over there painting his Warcry 4 minis and just ignoring
give me that.
Spearhead boxes.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, again, there's a good chance that they are going to what did we say? Pave over their own success.
Yeah, I like that.
In this case, at the same time, if they don't touch it, if they just leave everyone alone, everyone shut up. Just shut up.
Well, they got to keep putting a little bit of hype behind it and having like some events where people are doing Spearhead, but also don't touch the actual rules. Just like encourage people to play. Yeah. Publicize when people are playing. But yeah. Anyway, we'll see. That's probably all I got to say about Spearhead for now. We'll maybe get back into that later.
Yeah, I think we'll see how it goes. We'll do some Spearhead updates, along the way. I have hopes.
So like episode title, but some Spearhead updates along the way.
Yeah, did you write that down?
Yeah, you write that down.
I should write that down. I never write it down. We talk about it.
We ready to move on from Spearhead here? Spearhead updates. It's not a very good title. You workshop that a little bit.
Okay. I will workshop that. I'll give it to ChatGPT. I don't know.
Punch it up a little bit and edit it.
Yeah. Come on, AI. You got me this time. I cleaned my hobby space this last week, and I feel so much better right now. Maybe that's why I'm so hopeful about this. I don't know. I just feel good.
Yeah.
Like I went through my stuff. My desk is clean. I got like my other desk over at the podcast area, and I got that set up. So I don't know. I'm feeling good. I think it's a good idea that every so often you just go through, and instead of building or painting a model, just tear everything apart and put it all back together again.
Ooh.
It's very cathartic. Yeah.
Like you with your clean.
When was the last time you did that?
I don't know. When it gets too messy, I kind of
just then when it gets too messy.
Yeah, I think if you are a careful observer, you will see that my sorting of miniatures here on this table is in the same place it was a month ago, which is okay. There's a lot to think about.
That's fine. Yeah, you got different.
Who
projects.
will I pick as a bard to be, my Warhammer character bard from D&D?
Just because I'm thinking about it right now, there is a Stormcast model that has like a big horn. He's got a horn. It's bardish.
Well, time to Scaventide. All right, enough of that.
I don't think it's in that box, but it's not in that box.
Enough of that. Casey organized his whole dang work area. Look at that.
Yeah. I did, and I still can't find those Tau models that I have no idea where they are.
Where's your Riptide, man?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I'm starting to think maybe I dreamed the whole thing, but I have no Riptide. That doesn't actually exist. I don't know.
It's miserable.
I feel like maybe it is. Like, if I can't find it, then maybe I'm just going crazy, or I need to just get rid of stuff. At some point, I do want to just go through every single box that I have and build everything and clip off all the bits and put them into bins and just call it. I'm just going to be like, this is it. Everything is now built and done and like put somewhere safe and cataloged.
Get a bunch of little plastic baggies. You don't even have to build everything.
Tons of boxes. Like, I have tons of like clear plastic boxes, what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
That I did have models in, and now that I got the cases, I have 4 display cases, and they're full. Dude, there's like a smidge of room on a couple of these shelves, but they are full.
I gotta come visit you and check out your digs. I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, see this for myself.
Like, if you're watching the podcast on the YouTube /Paint Bravely the podcast, you can see a couple of them behind me.
Yes.
Brent can't.
I can see I can see a bit of a dragon wing back there.
Yeah. They're back there, but they're full, which is great because I mean that's nice. That's nice to have. A lot of it is 3D printed stuff, and a lot of it is like not painted. It's kind of, I'm hoping to swap it out for a painted thing, but I started to do that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint this unit from this thing, and then I put it back, and I'm like, they disappeared. in the case with the rest of it. It's like I didn't even make a dent. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but I don't know. I gotta do something about it, because if I'm losing models or I'm losing my mind, it has to be fixed.
What if you had a burglary occur and somebody was just taking some of your towels, like just to mess with you?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, honestly, I do not lock this room.
Don't say that on the internet.
Nobody knows where I live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Probably. They found me before, but I moved.
Well, back when you had the party van, you had that episode where you just had your license plate in the... you had like your license plate for like a minute, your street sign in the same
went
clip.
And blurred it. No, the street signs weren't in the clip, but definitely a few people recognized like the neighborhood that I was driving through. And then somebody emailed me once. I think maybe I've told this before. I can't remember. But they emailed me and they're like, so I saw this street and I saw this specific like building, and then I went here and I found this, and then I backtracked that over to here, and in this clip from this other video, there were these mailboxes on this corner and blah, blah, blah. And so your address is this. And they like got it. They nailed it. And it's like, why did you email me this?
The internet's a heck of a place, you know? I should say.
Yeah, but in trying to like somehow, and their email was like, I'm just trying to warn you. That's all. You know, there's crazy people out there. It's like, you're the crazy person. Like, why did you do that? You didn't have to.
That person may have figured out your new house location and gotten themselves some towel. Like, they, you know, Casey never learns, and I'm going to teach him a lesson.
Look, if that is the case, then hats off to you, sir, for stealing my Riptide right under my nose.
Paint Bravely, the podcast, does not advocate theft or trickery or what do you call it? Trespassing. Paint Bravely, the podcast, does not advocate doxing or trespassing. Theft is not funny, even if it is kind of funny. It's not funny. And please return Casey's towel. That's what I wanted to say.
Look, I probably stole my own towel and put it somewhere where I just didn't want to paint it. That's probably what happened. Yeah. I don't know.
It drunken fury and put it down the garbage disposal.
It is very possible. It's like I'm never paying these stupid robots.
Check your U-trap under your sink. Yeah.
Chunks of towel. Yeah. My point is, though, I do need to like do something about it, because that's not a good place to be in when you like bought something that has value that you just don't know where it is.
Because you have too many models, you don't know where some of your models are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, so I've been thinking about
you
doing
may
that
not be there yet, but you'll be there someday.
Someday. Yeah. Downsizing is a good thing. Like if you're just not gonna use it, then it's fine. It's just either it goes in the bits bin, or you sell it off. I mean, I've got some boxes that are unopened, you know, that I bought that are now worth more than what I paid for them. So, you know, investing.
It's a good investment.
Spearhead,
it's a sound investment.
Stuff,
yeah.
You know?
Don't take that plastic wrap off. It's worth more.
It probably is.
I don't
know. Yeah.
So I've been awaiting Victoria Miniatures' latest Kickstarter here. We got another one coming up soon for some Spanish Inquisition models. Some funny little dudes in robes with their little books and their little inquisitorial seals. There's some cuties. Just a little STL Kickstarter, but new Victoria Miniatures Kickstarter coming up. Always interesting.
Is it only STL? They're not casting anything?
These are some of Victoria's like old physical models that have been updated for the digital age. So.
Ooh, okay. I'm down with that. I'm still waiting on my war horses. I really am not. I've not been great about following up with Kickstarters.
Yeah, I got my digital war horses, but you're waiting for your physicals, huh?
I am waiting.
They're probably with your Tau. There's probably a big box somewhere where you got some war horses and some Tau in there.
I feel like I would at least remember getting them in the mail and opening that box and be like, sweet, war horses. Because I've been waiting for them.
Someday, Casey.
Someday.
You got to wait until you forget about them, and then they'll show up, and then you get excited.
I've definitely had that happen before.
Yeah.
Completely forgotten out of the blue. It's like, oh my God, there's miniatures in here.
I paid for the sun drop effect.
Yeah, God, I haven't even opened that. See, that's the thing. I haven't even opened it. I don't even know if I did. Me and editor Matt split that though, so I don't know if he clicked that option. I don't think so.
Hope not.
I hope not. I don't know.
All right, what else we got, Casey? What else we want to tell the world about on this episode of Paint Bravely, the podcast?
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I've been working super hard on some top secret Goblin Hobby stuff. That's all.
Have we sent some Goblin models to be manufactured?
I think we have. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't gonna say it. I'll let you say it. Yes, we have definitely sent off some sweet goblins to be manufactured.
But that's just a taste of what Goblin Hobbies is all about.
That's true.
You probably could have guessed that there were going to be goblin miniatures, but you don't even know what the real deal is. You don't even know.
Or we just never make goblins. That's the alternative. We'll never make goblin miniatures.
We get a crate back with thousands of kobolds.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
As it was always fated to be.
Yeah, as it should have been. Not that we didn't talk about it, for sure.
Yes, indeed.
But goblins, man. Goblins are there. That's where it's at. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of good work going in on that stuff, and I'm pretty stoked. So we're getting there. We're getting real close.
I'm also excited. I'm joking, but I'm also excited. You're going to hear all about Goblin Hobbies one of these days.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to hear a lot about it.
A lot about it.
Yeah. This is going to be a thing.
Yeah, and if you could find those Tau, you could paint them up Goblin style.
What's that?
Think about it.
Oh,
don't say it into the microphone, but think about it.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, Goblin style.
I know what you mean. I see what you mean. Man, I've been using that for like years at this point.
Yeah, Casey's done a lot of Goblin style minis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never gonna know.
They'll figure it out eventually.
Secret. It's top secret.
It's top secret.
We will get there though. I just wanted to throw that out there because I feel like we talked about it and then we just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna bring some products to the market under the banner Goblin Hobbies, and then we're gonna stop joking for a moment and ask you to please buy the Goblin Hobbies products.
We're getting real serious
after years of podcasting. We're gonna start to cash in. That's our plan. That's our plan.
That's our plan. We're gonna cash in big. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's where you come in, dear listener. That's how you can start to really get involved with Paint Brave the podcast.
Oh man. I told Brent this earlier because weirdly, him and I have the same car. We didn't know that for a while, but I had to get rid of my car. I had to sell it because my grandma, she's getting old. You know, she's 86 these days, and she has a hard time getting up into her 4Runner. And she asked me very nicely if I wouldn't mind purchasing it from her, and I did because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm,
That's what you do. I got a real good deal on it, and there were a few reasons for that. Partially because she is my grandma.
Yeah,
also, though, because it had been in an accident. I don't know if there's a good way to just jump into this, so I guess I will. So my grandma hit a dude.
That's awful. She's 86, huh? I mean, it gets to that point. Is the guy okay?
He's fine. He's back in jail. So he escaped from prison, and he ran up this hill that's like, I guess, sort of near my grandma's house, and it was dark, right? And he just like jumped out in the middle of the road, and she clipped him, and he was down, and she got out, and she's screaming and freaking out, right? She thinking that she just killed a guy,
right?
But he gets up, and he's basically like, "Don't call the cops," and then just takes off. Turns out he escaped from prison, and he's on the run, and they caught him down the road, and he was fine, but her car was basically totaled. So they got it all nice and fixed up at the dealership, which was nice. So I'm getting like a pretty new.
And now it's your car. Yeah.
Now it's my car.
Your car was basically totaled on the escaped felon.
Yeah, exactly.
You always bring me the very best stories, Casey.
I mean, yeah. You wrote this down on the podcast notes, and I'm like, I'll tell it. I will.
Well, yeah, you told me the story the other day, and it's like, oh, that's sad. Grandma's getting up in age. She hit a guy, and maybe time to have that conversation. And oh, he was an escaped felon, and she was actually crime fighting with her night driving. Like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. No, for being as old as she is, like, she has no problem driving. Like, I was just in the car with her like a couple weeks ago, and she's driving through traffic and yelling at people like you do. So it seemed all right.
Nah, grandma.
Yeah. She got a brand new car though. She wanted something newer and lower to the ground, so she didn't have to bring the stool to get her friends in the car.
Yeah. So
she goes and picks up her old lady quilting friends, and they go on road trips. And
pedestrians go up and over the windshield.
Exactly. They could roll. They could roll over safely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have the same car anymore. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well,
this is a weird coincidence that is now no longer there.
About an hour ago, my car started making some really weird noises, so I might look into that 4Runner situation. Yeah,
yeah, try it. I mean, look, you live in wildland Maine. You need some like 4-wheel drive. I don't even know how you get around in that car that you have.
Yeah. I'm gonna look into this. So the listeners will be glad to know. But that's a lot to think about, Casey.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot to think about. Man, I don't know that I've been doing much else hobby wise. Not much at all. I mean, cleaning the space, getting all the stuff, doing the scaven tides and the spearheads and all that.
Yep.
It's been a good month, I guess. I mean, obviously I've been working on other stuff, but I can't say anything about that.
No, can't say anything. Have you heard this cat?
I've been hearing this cat this whole time.
Yeah, this cat has won the podcast today, I tell you what. But
yeah.
On that note.
Yeah. Oh, you're just gonna... Okay, that's fine. Thought you were gonna hold him there. Whatever, fine. It's fine. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Paint Bravely. If you enjoyed this podcast, please help us out by leaving us a review on iTunes, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and sharing this message with your hobby friends. And as always, we appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.